Hello and welcome to WarHQ. My name is Lucius and today's topic is going to be Warriors of Renown Part 4, the Pink Horror from the Daemon faction of Kill Team. Now the Pink Horror, what makes it what it is? Why is it so good? Why is it so annoying to your opponents? Why does it look like a ball bag? I don't know, but I'm going to delve into these things and I'm going to explain them to you as best I can. But for now, stay tuned and make sure to subscribe to our channel. Now, the Pink Horror is a very different model, I think you'd say. It's very unlike any other models in Kill Team and behaves very differently than other models in Kill Team, which is why I chose it for the Warrior of Renown, but also for what it can do. It's not particularly good at much, but the things it is good at that other models can't do make it exceptional. Now, probably the thing that stands out first is its psychic potential. So one of these models can cast a Psybolt in the psychic phase per turn, which is great. I mean, free potential kill every turn. Now, this can be boosted as well by the introduction of this little fella, which is the Icon Bearer. So when you've got the Icon Bearer, basically at the start of your turn in the psychic phase, roll a d6 for each model from your kill team, equipped with the Icon of Tzeentch. On a 6, inflict 1 mortal wound on the closest enemy model within 12 of the model being rolled for. So with the Icon Bearer, you've got a potential of 2 Psybolts per turn, basically. So Psychic is powerful. The next strength that I would say that stands out is these things pop. What do I mean by they pop? Well, when you shoot these things or you hit them in close combat and they fail their invul test, basically they just pop and they turn into additional horrors. So the first time you kill a pink horror, it turns into 2 blue horrors. And subsequently, when you kill one of those blue horrors, it turns into a pair of brimstone horrors. Now this is very infuriating for your opponent because you can't really, within a 4-turn game, remove these things from the board entirely. So you've got to keep in mind that once the pink horror is dead, it is counting towards your losses in your team. And any specialisms that you had are gone. But it still fights on in the form of the blue horror and the brimstone horror. They don't get any shooting attacks, these particular ones, but they do get the psychic ability, which is really cool. There's nothing better than continuing that free psychic every turn. If you've got a couple of these in your team, these pink horrors, you're going to have a Psybolt every turn. It's not like you can kill all the psychers in the team. It would just be, hugely improbable is probably the best way to put it. So this ability to pop, as I call it, is amazing. There's no other model within Kill Team that can do that. And their longevity is insane. This means you can put these things onto primary objectives and you don't even really have to worry about getting killed. It's like, unless you're close to breakpoint or something, but otherwise it doesn't really matter because it's a plus. I mean, you put this in the open on a point, even if a model charges you, you're going to get a Psybolt before that model gets to attack you. So you could kill it before it even gets a chance to kill you for 1. And then if your pink horror does die, you've just got 2 blue horrors. So, you've got this guy on the point who's just charged you, and now you're 2 models, and he's got 1. So you win that objective. Yeah, pretty awesome, if you ask me. Now, these horrors and their subsequent stages get progressively worse, but not a lot. I mean, it's only really the strength of the model which is dropping each time. But, they're not really for combat. Let's face it, these models. Another major bonus to this model is it is the only shooting model within the Daemon Kill Team. So it has coruscating flames. Now, they don't sound very good on the surface, the coruscating flames. They really only give you their Assault 2, range 18, Strength User, which is 3, and 1 damage. But as I'll describe coming up with this, you can give them the Specialism of Demolition, which can add to your potential to wound. And you can also give them Mutating Fire, which is a tactic. And that'll give you bonuses to your AP. So you can actually turn these into quite a unique shooting option as well. And getting these into the back line, say in turn 1, like with a recon drop or something like that, and one of these is a demolition specialist, and you can get a shot on the leader, you're going to get a Cybolt for free straight up on the leader if you can get him as the closest target. And then you're going to get 2 shots, which you can then boost with your mutating fire and demolition specialism, hopefully. So this is going to make for a very awesome first turn attack and a very annoyed, frustrated, generally confused opponent if it pulls off and works right. So keep that in mind when you're using your pink horrors in battle. They can be very powerful like that. The last strength that I'm going to say is these things have a 4+ invulnerability. That is very high. That's basically like a Harlequin, I guess. So you've got a 50-50 chance of dying regardless of the attack. You'd be surprised how many people forget about invulnerability. They're so used to fighting Marines and needing high AP weapons and stuff like that. But with these pink horrors, 4+ invulnerability, 50-50% chance of living or dying, generally better than most options. So, keep that in mind. The thing is, this invulnerability, as you go to the blue horror, drops to a 5+, and then as you go to the brimstone horror, drops to a 6+. Weaknesses of the pink horror. Let's have a look at these. Now, these things can't fight. We'll just put it straight out there. They've got a weapon skill of 4, strength 3, no close combat weapons, and generally 1 attack. Unless you've got the iridescent horror, then you get the 2. So you're not going to be putting these in combat. Well, you're going to be using them to buffer combat, I guess, and to hold points and to, explode and pop into other pink horrors and generally frustrate your opponent. But one good thing about them is you can engage very dangerous close combat enemies. What I mean by that is something like a Howling Banshee, something that's going to get into your back line, destroy you. Engage them with a pink horror. Charge them. Because even if they kill you, they can only kill the pink horror. And then it's going to turn into 2 blues. Then they're going to have to kill 2 blues in the next turn if you can get them into combat. So consider it that way. You're always you can hold up or you can sort of stall, I guess is the best word, really high, powerful, close combat enemy. They are good for that, but they can't fight. You're not going to probably win at the fight. You're just going to stall them. Another thing to consider is that these things don't take mortal wounds, so not in the common sense of it. So as soon as they fail their invulnerability save during the saving throw section, they're pretty much dead. They just pop. There's no mortal wound, there's no flesh wound. They just pop. So keep that in mind. So the pink will turn into the 2 blues, the blues will turn into the brimstones, and so on and so forth for eternity. Now this will affect your specialists. So you're going to have to really consider, like if you've got a demolition specialist, if the pink gets popped, the demolition specialism is gone. That's why I don't really recommend using the pink horror as a leader. I think it's a very bad option. Not a model you really want to keep in reserve unless you've got it on a point, because it is the most expensive of the demon models too. So you really want to maximize this thing by not giving him any specialisms at all, particularly not leader, but demolition definitely. That brings us to specialisms, and really, out of the choices that you've got, and as I've already mentioned, I would really be taking demolitions. That'd be my first choice, and that's only because you've got a strength 3 shooting weapon, which you can buff to a 4, and with the demolition specialism, you can buff it by +2 to 5 strength if you need to. And as I said before, if you combine that with a mutating fire tactic, bang, you've got a little sniper on your hands. The comm specialist, it's a consideration. Again, I don't know if I'd waste it. This is the only shooting model. If you had a whole team of pink horrors, maybe, then you could get some better shooting, because these things only do have a 4 ballistic skill, so they're not that great as far as that goes. So that might be a consideration for you, but again, I'd probably use, in your demon kill team, I'd probably save the specialisms for other demon types. As far as veteran goes, could work. It's not a bad one. Like if you're not going to be dropping, say, that demolition, one of your specialists behind enemy lines, you might want a veteran to get into a good spot to be able to, take a Cybolt on a potential threat, I guess is a good way to say. Yeah, and they are the specialisms. Now, having a look at the tactics, you really don't have a lot to choose from here. The demons themselves don't really have much, and the tactics that they do have are very specific generally to the unit type. But the one I have talked about before is the mutating fire. So the mutating fire is a 1 command point tactic, and basically gives your coruscating flames a -3 AP. This is super strong. Really cool. Yep, combine that with demolition, you've got a really cool little shooting unit on your hands. The only other really one that you'd consider and that you could actually use from the Demon's tactics is the Warped Spawned Terror, which is a 2 command point one. Haven't really used this much, but I'll mention it because there's not many others to mention. Now, you'd use this tactic at the start of the morale phase. Add 1 to nerve test for enemy models that are within 3 inches of any demon models in your kill team. This is going to be really situational. It might be like turn 4, you need them to break, or turn 3. Yep, you could pull this out and hopefully the enemy shake and they break. Best way to put it. So there you have the Demon Pink Horror. Now, the Pink Horror is an exceptional model. It's very unique. As I said, it can Cybolt. You can get additional Cybolts. It can split into multiple models. It can be completely frustrating for your opponent. It's really a blocking unit. It's really a holding unit. It's not a combat unit. It's going to, it's not going to win. But it has so many uses on the field which make it unique. And that is why I've listed it as a Warrior of Renown for Chaos Demons. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you continue to like these videos. We do this because of you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know about your Pink Horror experiences. Do you use them in your kill teams? Do you not? How many do you generally use? I mean, I generally use like 3 to 4 Pink Horrors in a roster, like if I'm going to a competitive tournament. I find that amount gives me a lot of flexibility to be able to, use the teams that I need them for. But anyway, for now, I am Lucius and I am signing out.